Lavington.
Lakini si unajua kuendagi hivyo.
Ulikola askari.
Toa hiyo ring.
Wacha nini na yeye? Yuko nani na?
Tutizane wakati.
Piga hiyo kitu. Piga. Jichunge sana na huyo boy. Unajua hivyo ndio watu wengizwa box ya Kibabylon.
Ni vile unafikiria. Tumetoka worlds tofauti sana. You don't know who I am, you don't know what I do.
Thank you for joining us on KBC Channel 1, the channel that gives you the most comprehensive news coverage in Kenya. My name is Kasavuli, and of course you have tuned in to the Legends edition. Thank you so much for joining us. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli. And of course, on the Living Legends, as we have all been waiting, this Saturday, we are featuring none other than the veteran broadcaster Leonard Mambo Mbotela J. Hunyungwana. Please don't go away. He will be with you very, very soon.
Amwezi amua ni nani anaenda kukuwa IBC chairman. Curricular Commission inasema you cannot change the chairman of an independent commission such as IEBC kama bado mwaka mmoja kwa election. Tutawaambia no, na hiyo haitabadilika. Kipkati haendi mahali popote.
Stop the theatrics. ANC legislators warn ODM against pushing for changes at IEBC. Shouldering the burden. Petroleum pump prices to remain unchanged, even as the cost of importation increases by 6% for petrol. And statistics remain worrying. Kenya records 1,225 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours from 8,877 samples tested. Good evening and welcome to this bulletin. A section of leaders from Western Kenya have defended IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati, saying they will not allow ODM to change the referee less than a year to the general election. Speaking in Malava, Kakamega County, the members of parliament, led by Senator Cleophas Malala, warned their opposition counterparts that they can't be pushing for the change of the leadership of the electoral body every election cycle. The leaders have also taken issue with the push to support ODM leader Raila Odinga for the presidency in 2022.
Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala, Lugari MP Ayub Savula, and former Senator Boni Halwale hit out at ODM party for allegedly plotting the removal of IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati from office.
Watu wa ODM wakiwa kule Kisii wakisema sasa ati Wafula Chebukati afukuzwe kutoka kwa IEBC. We want to tell ODM, hawezi kuwa mchezaji tena wewe ndio unachagua referee. Tafadhali fanyeni kazi yenu. This time round we want to meet you on a neutral ground. Hamwezi amua ni nani anaenda kukuwa IEBC chairman. Kirigila Commission inasema you cannot change a chairman of an independent commission such as IEBC kama bado mwaka mmoja kwa election. Tutawaambia no, na hiyo haitabadilika. Chebukati haendi mahali popote.
I want to tell you, the Leonard nation, I'll not always be there. I'm saying no to that agenda. Kwa sababu Raila ako na agenda mbaya sana na sisi. Siku mbili after being declared by Uhuru kwamba Raila ndio atakuwa candidate wake, Raila amesema anataka kumwachisha chairman wa IEBC Wafula Chebukati kazi. Raila, you will not sack Chebukati kazi yake.
The lawmakers also took issue with the push to have both ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi and Wiper party leader Kalonzo Musyoka support ODM leader in 2022 general elections.
Moses Kuria, Martha Karua, Kiunjura naunda nyumba yao, na nini mbaya wewe Mluya? Nini mbaya wewe mtu wa Western? Unataka kwenda kwa wengine, uingie kwa nyumba ya wengine, ile hali tunalia kwa sababu ya maendeleo.
Elsewhere in Laikipia County, more than 11 parties from Mount Kenya region are set to meet next week to forge a way forward on how they are going to team up and bargain as one voice for the interest of the region. This is after meeting by 3 party leaders this week that saw Mwangi Kionjori of TSP, Martha Karua of NAK Kenya, and Moses Kuria of Chama cha Kazi declare that they are not going to fold their parties.
Wiki ijayo tutakuwa karibu vyama 11 ambaye tumeamua maneno ya Mount Kenya region lazima tuyazungumuze. Kabla ya kuzungumza maneno ya huko mbele nje ya Kenya, maneno ya national issues lazima tuzungumuze yetu ya nyumbani.
Kevin Washira, Legends Edition.
As sawmillers countrywide continue counting their days out of business since the government imposed a ban on logging 4 years ago, forests are clogging with mature trees estimated at 60 billion shillings, which just cannot be harvested even after partial lifting of the ban. How will the clogging be addressed? What is holding the Kenya Forest Service from effecting the Ministry of Environment partial ban lift? What is the current status of the sawmilling sector? John Curia brings us a 2-part series, The Pain of Nobility, that seeks to answer the questions.
The ban on harvesting by the government of the Republic of Kenya was meant to end deforestation and depletion of trees. Now, about a year ago, the ministry lifted the ban, albeit partially, to allow the Kenya Forest Service to harvest 5,000 hectares of mature trees and over mature trees. But then there was a committee that was formed, a task force actually. Its work was to count the trees. They're yet to finish up the physical counting of trees. Annually, trees from, the government forests, gazetted forests, as well as plantations, 90,000 hectares of trees, mature ones and over mature ones, are supposed to be harvested. Now you can imagine, that means that this year, 85,000 hectares of trees have not been harvested. Let me quantify that for you. The last 4 years, the number of mature and over mature trees, 60 billion shillings, are going to waste. Let me tell you the story.
So we set out on a journey to assess the situation and get to tell the story. A journey full of pain and agony for sawmillers. One that would have the sawmillers trade blame with the Kenya Forest Service. A story about a noble idea on saving the country's forests, but whose implementation may have shattered so many lives.
In fact, people have lost their lives. I remember one woman here in Nakuru County had already bought a new machine, an old miser. When she bought it like today, tomorrow there was the ban. She never even finished 3 days. High blood pressure, stroke, she died. I had to cut all my medical expenses, my medical schemes for my children, education schemes, I had to stop them. And then the loss of livelihood, especially for me, because I had no any other business.
We would comfortably do about 6 to 7 tons of timber every day. We would process it realistically. Now we are not even doing 1 ton.
At minimum, I was running a team of 60 at minimum. Depending on days and times, you'd have some other casuals come in, for whatever was needed. Now, we maintain a permanent workforce of 10 and casuals and temporary staff of another 10.
After the partial lift on the ban by Cabinet Secretary Keriako Tobiko that gave KFS the green light to harvest 5,000 hectares of mature trees, a multidisciplinary task force to address the national wood deficit that rose sharply following a moratorium on logging was formed, its sole purpose being to address commercial forestry policy or consulting stakeholders. The sawmillers claim they have never been consulted by the task force or the ministry.
If I had a minute with Keriako Tobito, just say, my friend, Kibiko, sit down with professionals and come up with a policy that, takes care of everyone. Takes care of everyone without emotions or anything. Let it be professional.
There is no single response from the ministry. I mean, the government is not there to oppress its own people.
3 months has gone into 4 years now, and we still are out in the cold. And even now it seems we don't even know when we're going back.
With KFS not selling trees to the timber and wood merchants, sawmillers have to adjust and count the losses. KFS no longer receives the millions of shillings it used to get from timber and wood merchants, who are now swimming in debt, with some being auctioned over bank loans.
Most of the sawmillers have been auctioned. Most of their properties have been auctioned. I being one of them, I told the bank, I never closed up my business. This is just a moratorium. The government came in and stopped everything. Told them, because I don't want to die quickly. The property that I had given, you just sell it, because I have no choice.
The scaling down of operations in the mills and the cost of either hunting for trees from private farms has led to massive losses of jobs and livelihoods. Some, owing to the less restrictive trade policies in neighboring countries, are ferrying timber from Tanzania and Congo, and others from as far as China, which continues to push up the cost of timber and wood, a cost passed on to the consumer.
It's very convenient when we're working in the forest, because then we're working in one place. It's easier to manage. The logistics are much easier. It's easier. You're dealing with one client, that is KFS. You pay KFS, you pick your material, you come process it, and that's the end of it. Now, when we're going into people's farms, etc., you've got to scout for the trees. When you scout, you're maybe going to get 2 trees here, 5 trees 10 kilometers down the road. So the expenses are obviously higher. The farmer, obviously now, because he knows there's a shortage of material, the prices are going to go up. So that affects our costing.
Probably have a radius of 10 kilometers before you gather some 20 trees that are commercially viable for production. So it makes it very expensive to extract those trees and bring them to the factory for conversion.
And so the story of pain continues. But like a coin and its 2 sides, so is the story. Whereas the sawmillers direct all the blame at the Kenya Forest Service and the Ministry of Environment, they too are in the dock, literally speaking, as some have previously been found guilty of colluding with rogue officials at the Kenya Forest Service to harvest more trees than the ones marked for felling.
This is one of the ways that they want to put us out of business. Kenya Forest Service is being micromanaged by the Ministry of Environment. Those people, the Kenya Forest Service, they are technocrats. They have been trained to be forest experts. If you start micromanaging them, then that is where now another problem starts.
One area, same material, more than one person, more than one entity. That requires other analysis of the situation, perhaps something beyond Kenya Forest Service itself. And it may border to us calling other jurisdictions to come and help us address those issues. So they are complex issues, but they have to deal with them one by one and case by case.
Join me tomorrow for the second part of Pain of Nobility as the Kenya Forest Service breaks down immediate interventions that could see the wood industry back on its feet sooner. John Jacob Curia, The Legends Edition.
The National Cohesion and Integration Commission is seeking to be given more to investigate and prosecute hate mongers. Consequently, NCIC wants the 2019 Act amended to give it teeth to deal with rogue politicians who are a threat to the nation's cohesion.
The National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, wants amendments of its 2019 Act to give it more powers to deal with errant politicians. The Commission Chairman, Dr. Samuel Kobia, says with more powers, it will be able to tempt political aspirants out to play divisive politics for their selfish gains.
Act ile inatuongoza ni act iliwekwa na bunge mwaka wa 2008. That was before the constitution, kabla ya katiba. Na kwa hivyo ilitakuwa ni vizuri tukiwa na act ile ambao ina align na katiba ili tuweze kuwa na nguvu zaidi, kwa sababu wakati mwingi watu hata wananchi wenyewe wa Kenya wanasema kwamba NCIC haina teeth, haina nguvu sana.
Kobia saying that with the current limited powers, NCIC is unable to do much in terms of curbing hate speech as expected by the public.
Kwa hivyo kama ni wale ambao tumeona wanaleta furugu, wawe ni wale ambao wataambiwa kwamba na NCIC ninyi kwa sababu ya vile mmefanya hapo mbeleni hamwezi kuwa cleared.
The Commission also wants hate speech cases against politicians to be expedited and completed in a period of not more than 6 months. Further, the Commission wants increased budgetary allocation from the current 500 million shillings to 1.4 billion in order to enable it carry out its mandate effectively during the general elections.
Na sisi kama kamati tumekubalia hiyo act tutaiangalia tena na mara nyingine mbili. Ndio wakati tunaipeleka bunge tunakuwa tuna document ambayo sisi wote tutakuwa ni wahusika.
Nancy Okware, Legends Edition.
Kenya has recorded 1,225 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours from a sample size of 8,877. The latest figures represent a positivity rate of 13.8%. The Ministry of Health says 17 patients succumbed to the disease, all of them being late deaths reported after conducting facility record audits in diverse dates. And 1,318 people have in the meantime recovered from the disease, 1,232 of them being from the home-based isolation and care program and 86 from various health facilities countrywide. As of August 13th, 2021, over 2 million vaccines had been administered across the country. Of these, total first doses are slightly above 1.2 million, while second doses are in excess of 744,000. And now moving on to fuel. Fuel prices will remain unchanged for the next 1 month as per the latest price review by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Though the cost of importation of petroleum products went up by between 6.21% for super petrol to 9.81% for kerosene, the EPRA has decided to retain the current pump prices.
In a statement, Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority says the free on-board price of Moban crude oil lifted in July 2021 was posted at $66.70 per barrel, an increase of 5.29% from $63.35 per barrel in June 2021. The maximum amount consumers will pay for a litre of super petrol in Nairobi will remain 127.14 shillings, diesel 107.66 shillings, and kerosene 97.85 shillings. Consumers in Mombasa will continue to pay a maximum of 124.72 shillings per litre of super petrol, 105.27 shillings for diesel, and 95.46 shillings for kerosene. In Kisumu, the maximum pump price for a litre of super petrol, diesel, and kerosene remain at 127.67 shillings, 108.46 shillings, and 98.68 shillings, respectively. The prices will be in force from Sunday 15th August 2021 to 14th September 2021. Beatrice Gatonye-Ngetich, Legends Edition.
Well, we now take a small break, and of course, when we come back, we tell you what is going on in Zambia. Please don't go away.
Mimi nawauliza tena, nataka kuona ni wangapi wangetaka tuwaibishe hawawezi kutoka kifungo cha miaka mingi mpaka kuwanyongelea mbali. Hebu sasa sikilizeni, nataka mnionyeshe kwa mikono yenu kama mnakubali kama mwizi anazidi kuiba zaidi tumnyonge. Tieni mikono mjue wale wanataka. Kamba karibu itakwenda katika shingo zao, wanyongwe mpaka kufa. Ndio wananchi wanataka. Mimi nataka kusikia kwa sauti kubwa, wananchi wanataka kunyonga wezi. Haya, tieni namna hiyo. Nyinyi watu wa picha, pigeni mikono hiyo picha. Wezi wakiiona watetemeke, wajue kamba iko mikononi. Kamba karibu itakwenda katika shingo zao, wanyongwe mpaka kufa. Ndio wananchi wanataka.
Kupata aliye mzuri kama skiza tune, bonyeza *811 *817 hash.
Usiwahi kumwacha mtu mzuri kwa matarajio ya kumpata mzuri zaidi, kwani unaporejea kumtafuta aliye mzuri utampata alishaponyoka na kumpata anayemdhamini.
Kupata aliye mzuri kama skiza tune, bonyeza *811 *817 hash. *811 *817 hash.
This is the day many are not going to forget in a hurry, because today we host none other than Leonard Mambo Mbotela, HSC OGW.
Thank you, Kathy. Thanks for having me in your program.
Thank you very much for accepting to be part of our living legends on this show.
Thank you so much for remembering me too.
No one can forget you. Tell us about Leonard Mambo Mbotela.
I was born in Mombasa on the 29th of May 1940 at Freetown, Mombasa. Then I went to school at Freetown Primary School, Buxton. Then I went to Kitui High School, myself and my brother George. And my parents, James Mbotela and Aida Mbotela, they are both deceased.
So tell us, after school, where did you work?
After school, I went to Nakuru to look for employment. But all along, I had a passion for broadcasting. Just to remind you that when I was in school in a dormitory, I was in Mwatu House dormitory. I used to fold a newspaper or a book, pretending to be a microphone. Then I used to say, Hamjambo, habari zenu, hii ni taarifa ya habari, mkisomewa na Leonard Mambo Mbotela. So my schoolmates there, dormitory mates used to tell me, hey, shut up, we are busy studying here. We namna gani? Wanapigia kelele, things like that. And I was impressed by people like the late Stephen Kikumu, the late Simeon De Sancho, Hassan Mazoa, Joseph Kema, John Makitawa, and many others. Elizabeth Akinyi at that time. They really inspired me.
Now, your journey as a journalist did not start at the Voice of Kenya. Where did it start?
It started in Nakuru, as I told you. I was a reporter for a Kiswahili newspaper, Baraza, which was edited by Mr. Francis Hamisi, who also passed on some years back. Though I was in Nakuru, but I wished I could come to Nairobi and join VOK at that time. Simeon De Sancho himself, who was at that time the head of Kiswahili service. He came to Nakuru, he saw me, and he said, wewe ni Leonard Mbotela? Naambia ni mimi. Wewe natuma salamu sana, ni wewe? Naambia So De Sancho was very happy indeed. He was so happy indeed. He said, wewe utakuwa mtangazaji. That's exactly what he told me. Wewe unafaa kuwa mtangazaji. And the day came that one of the announcers, Kiswahili announcers, misbehaved. He was supposed to open the station, but he failed to go and open the station. So he was terminated, he was sacked.
So your opportunity.
So De Sancho called me. He told me, imagine he asked me, ungependa kujiunga nasi, kuna nafasi hapa. I said, God is good, God is great. I said, yes, ningependa.
You had a program on radio that was so powerful.
Which one was this?
That it impacted and influenced the fabric, the social fabric of the nation. Who? Nyungwana.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. It was way back in 1966 when I had finished my continuity duty. It was on a Saturday. So my friends came and told me, why can't we just go somewhere and have something to drink? We have some lunch kidogo. And then we start our weekend that way. I said, oh, sure, that's a very good idea. So we decided to go to Pan-Afric Hotel. So you know when you go to such a place, you have to wait for a waiter to come and ask you what you want to have, to serve you. So one of my colleagues, instead of waiting patiently for that waiter to come and say hello to us and then ask us what we want, you can't believe it, Catherine, he started by banging the table and shouting, "Oi, oi! Oi, oi! Nani yuko hapa? Nani yuko hapa?" We looked at him and and people, I remember vividly.
Yes.
Charles Njonjo, he looked at us as if he was asking himself, who are these people? Who are these people shouting and banging tables like this? So I told that colleague of mine, bwana, tafadhali bwana, wewe namna gani bwana? Angalia wakubwa wako hapa, mawaziri, watu wakubwa kwa hapa. Wewe unapiga kelele na kushout. Wewe unataka kuhudumiwa, unapiga meza bwana. Hapa ni Pan Africa Hotel. Hatuko Karumaindo. Huko chini mitaani huko. No. Akasema pole. So wewe unaambia namna gani bwana? Uniongwana kweli. So from that day I came up with that program. Je, huu ni ungwana?
There was an incident that happened in 1982. This was the coup. I know this is a year that Kenyans would love to wish away, but unfortunately, history is there.
I know it's history.
and you played a role.
Yes.
You were picked from your house by the perpetrators of the coup.
31st of July, 1982. So I went straight home. By that time I was staying at Ngara government quarters. So I went inside. I slept. At around 4:45 in the morning, I had a knock on my bedroom window. So I thought maybe our driver had come for me to go and save the situation. I was wrong. So I opened the door. So one of the askaris, the rebel askaris, shouted and said, wewe ni Leonard Mambo Mbotela? Nikamwambia ndio ni mimi. I was still in my pajamas. Yeah. Said, kwenda for hiyo nguo yako haraka wewe. Vaa nguo yako ya kawaida. Serikali ya Moi imepinduliwa. Kuja fanya, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Imagine. 2 minutes. So we went straight to the studio. There were about 10 of them rebels. Sema, andika, tangaza hiyo. Nikamwambia yes sir. Tangaza hii haraka. Nikamwambia ndio. Nika switch on the microphone. It was still on. Ndio nikatangaza sasa. Hamjambo wasikilizaji, mimi ni Leonard Mambo Mbotela na watangazia kwamba serikali ya Moi imepinduliwa. Hapa ninaye rais wetu mpya ambaye anaitwa Hezekiah Ochuka. He was nodding his head like this. Hezekiah Ochuka, na nyote mkae nyumbani, polisi wote wakae nyumbani, mahabusu wafunguliwe mpaka mtakapotangaziwa baadaye. A rebel soldier, one of the Ochuka's soldiers, came in the studio and he shouted, my colleagues, we are being attacked by the loyal forces. We are being attacked by the loyal forces. They all left that studio, including my new president, including the new president. He left the studio running out of the studio. So I was just left alone in that studio. I was just alone in the studio. Mahmoud Mohammed came running and told me. He shouted my name. He knew me by my name. So he called me by my name. Leonard, yes sir, get in the studio, quick. And he had about 20 loyal soldiers. We went to the studio again. Sema kwamba serikali ya Moi bado inaendelea. Sema namna hiyo. Nikasema yes sir. Hamjambo tena wasikilizaji popote mlipo. Mimi ni Leonard Mambo Mbotela, yule aliyewaambia kwamba serikali ya Moi imepinduliwa. Tena ni mimi tena nimerudi kuambia kwamba serikali ya Moi bado inaendelea. Na hapa ninaye General Mahmoud Mohammed ambaye amekuja hapa na kikosi chake. Tumeokoa serikali, kwa hivyo msio na wasiwasi, kaeni nyumbani mpaka mtakapotangaziwa baadaye.
It has been a great privilege to sit with our veteran broadcaster Leonard Mambo Mbotela. You have walked with him through his journey in broadcasting starting in 1964 and of course retired in 1997, but he is not retired. He still is going strong, and I'm sure we need his mentorship, we need his guidance. Thank you so much for watching The Living Legends. I am Catherine Kasavuli. More news to follow shortly. Thank you for voting. Of course, we recorded that a little earlier in the day, a nice visit to Leonard Mambo Mbotela's residence. Thank you so much for watching. And on to other news. A family in Nairobi's Tasia and Embakasi estate is appealing for urgent medical assistance for their daughter, a 14-year-old. Well, Claire Isoi Lusuli is suffering from osteosarcoma, a type of bone cancer. The family says Claire suffered an injury while playing outside their home, which worsened and turned cancerous.
Kennedy Luceno says he has run out of options in attempts to find medical assistance for his 14-year-old daughter.
Shida yenye niko nayo, ninahitaji pesa na sina namna yoyote. Nikitembea mpaka napata sina nguvu. Vile mtoto wangu analia usiku, vile anaumia, napata hata sina nguvu kabisa.
Luceno says Claire needs several special treatments, including chemotherapy, radiation and surgery. Medical costs adding up to 300,000 shillings.
Tunahitaji 300,000 kukaramia hiyo matibabu yote ili aweze kupata uponyaji.
He says he is unable to raise the funds needed for Claire's medical expenses. He is appealing to well-wishers to help him pay medical bills. Financial donations can be sent to M-Pesa pay bill number 4074731, account medical.
University of Eastern Africa Baraton will be holding its 39th graduation ceremony virtually, commencing on Thursday 12th to the D-Day on Sunday 15th of August 2021 from 9 a.m. Catch the virtual event live on KBC, Baraton TV and Hope Channel. University of Eastern Africa Baraton, a chartered Seventh-day Adventist Church institution of higher learning.
Proving that to be a leader, you do not need a title or a position. All you need is to influence and have an impact on people.
It's like every stage that I've been in life, I always feel like there's a better tomorrow.
And do you think it's possible to be in politics and have integrity or even be born again? Is it possible?
The moment you, like when I say the moment you're mentioned for a certain position, your close friends become your enemies. And the meeting I went, the women were like, I can say it in Kiswahili. Sasa huyu amevaa hizi nini za miguu. Atakuwaje kiongozi? You know?
Nikifa utapumzika.
Me and Dingo have a son together.
Wewe ni wewe mpaka ukishikibiriti kilepuke ndio usikie mlio wako usikie.
Kwa sababu mimi ndio mamake huyu mtoto na mimi ndio najua uchungu wa huyu mtoto. Na wewe wangangania nini kwa Laban na hakupendi? Si umwachie Casey?
You homewrecker.
Is Casey the reason why mom left?
What?
Unadhani pakiongezwa Abel hapa mambo yatakuwaje?
Sababu humu ndani hakuna aliyekuwa na ujauzito.
I suggest you save that fight for another time, my darling husband.
Good evening, I'm Topi Liambila with a sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday. In the highlights tonight of the sports segment are the Paralympics team preparations, the Great Africa Cycling Safari, World Under-20 preparations and the Premier League results this weekend. The Kenya Paralympic team has today received kit for the upcoming Tokyo Paralympic Games and are now finalizing their preparations for the event. The team has promised to register good results in the coming event, aiming to better their 35th overall position in Rio, Brazil in 2016, where they bagged a total of 6 medals, 3 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals.
Speaking while handing over the kits to the players, Tokyo-bound Paralympic squad team manager Stanley Mutuma hailed the team for their previous results displayed in the qualifier games and also encouraged the team to continue working hard in order to bag as many medals as possible in the coming Olympics.
As we continue to prepare, I want to report as the team manager that the team is in good spirits. We don't have any cases of COVID and such, so we thank God for that.
Mutuma also thanked the biopharma company for the donations and also thanked the Kenya Society for the Blind. The Olympics will be categorized into 3 disciplines: the athletes, powerlifting and the para-rowing. The advanced team left the country yesterday, while the rest of the team is said to leave on shifts from date 21st to 24th of this month due to COVID-19 protocol. The event will begin on 24th of August and end on 5th of September. Daniel Mwendwa for Legends Edition Sports.
We wish them all the best in Tokyo. The Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Managing Director Naim Bilal has today flagged off the Great Africa Cycling Safari team, which enters the 12th day of the 55-day cycling event along the East African countries. The cyclists will be heading to Naivasha, Molo and Eldoret before crossing over to the border to Uganda.
The 4th edition of the Great African Cycling Safari entered its 12th day, with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Managing Director Naim Bilal flagging off the cyclists from Nairobi, where they will be heading to Naivasha after a 2-day resting period. With this year's edition geared towards creating awareness on climate change and promoting integration of East Africans and Africans in general, Bilal promised to do all he can to ensure that the game will be recognized internationally.
KBC is driving that event by mobilizing the national broadcasters of Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi and South Sudan. My appeal to you is to exercise the highest level of caution on the roads, be safe, and I wish you the very best.
This year's event will see cyclists cover 6,000 kilometers within 55 days.
Without unity, we cannot drive the commerce, we cannot negotiate effectively as an economic bloc. So we are stronger together, and we are cycling to ensure that we have the unity that we need to drive our economic bloc.
The tour will pass through Naivasha, Eldoret, then Kampala, Kigali, Bujumbura, Dodoma and terminate in Arusha on the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro. Daniel Mwendwa, Sports.
Sprint sensation Sasha Zoya leads a strong French team to the World Under-20 Championship starting on Tuesday this coming week. The French contingent joins Poland and Guatemala as the first arrivals ahead of the international showpiece. The event, set for August 17th through the 22nd, will see a total of over 100 countries and 1,462 athletes compete behind closed doors at the Kasavuli Stadium as a measure to combat the spread of the coronavirus.
The French team that will take part in the upcoming World Under-20 World Championship consists of 26 athletes and 10 officials, half the number that competed during last month's European Junior Championships that were held entirely in Estonia. Sprint sensation Sasha Zoya, who was crowned European champion in 110 meters hurdles, expressed his enthusiasm to post good results. The 19-year-old said he wants to use the Global Junior Championships to officially launch his bid to start in the 2024 Olympic Games to be held in his hometown, Paris.
Training during the pandemic has been difficult. It's been a lot better now as COVID has progressed and we're getting vaccinated and things like this. But yeah, before it's been a difficult season, obviously with competitions as well, it's a harder season to get through. So I think the whole French team itself, the whole French team is very ready. We've had a crazy season, it's coming to the end of our season, so we're all at our peak form, our best form and our best physique. So we're all ready to bring home some medals and do the best performances that we can do.
Pole vaulter Emma Brentel, who was second during the European Championships, is eyeing a French record at the Global Championship.
For going in the Nairobi, I practice to the European Championships in Italy and
prepare the World Championship.
It's a very good preparation for the World Championship.
Other teams that arrived are Argentina, Algeria, Canada, Dominican Republic, Czech Republic and Botswana. Meanwhile, official timing and measurement provider Seiko are putting final touches on the technical equipment at the Moi Stadium, Kasarani, ahead of the event. The Seiko team comprises almost 20 engineers drawn from Japan and technical experts from World Athletics who have been installing the equipment for measuring athletes' performances and generating results continually.
It's quite a pity that the fans will be denied the opportunity to cheer on Team Kenya at Kasarani. But on the local Premier League championships, Sofapaka FC bounced back to winning ways after registering an emphatic 3-0 win against Wazito FC in a Football Kenya Federation Premier League match played at the Thika Municipal Stadium.
Lawrence Juma fired Sofapaka into the lead after 52 minutes before Joe Waithira doubled Sofapaka's advantage. Ambrose Sifuna put the icing on the cake for the 2009 champions, wrapping up the win with an 89th minute strike. The win catapulted Sofapaka to 12th position on the FKF PL standings with 36 points, while Wazito remained 9th with 42 points.
Game imekuwa nzuri na nashukuru vijana wamejituma, na in terms of vile tulikuwa tumeongea about kwenye space and time tumefanya hivyo, na matokeo yameonyesha yenyewe vile ambavyo tumejituma game ya leo.
It's work, and then we have to face every game differently. So we faced this game today. I think the opponent, they were very organized without the ball, and they kept their shape very well. They utilized the few chances they got. So, and that is the game of football. So we have to think about the next match, which is on Wednesday. It is more important match for us, after the 90 minutes. So we have to prepare well, maybe bring more confidence and build more confidence to the players. That's what we need.
The league is set to enter the penultimate round next week, Wednesday, with 8 matches scheduled. Meanwhile, Shabana FC beat Nairobi Stima 1-0 in National Super League match to move to 7th on the standings with 47 points. Talanta FC leads the standings with 64 points, while Fortune Sacco is second 9 points adrift, while Kenya Police is third.
Game imekuwa poa. Hii wiki tumekuwa tukiwork so hard on our weaknesses, tumekuwa tukiwork so hard on our defending and errors. Alafu ukiangalia squad ya ile wiki kuna vile make some changes, of which boys leo walikubali kufanya kazi kulingana na game plan yetu.
Okay, game imechezwa imekuwa sawa, but niko very much disappointed because tuna play game tunapata so many chances that we utilize. Opponent wanapata chance moja wanafunga. Sasa tutakuwa con chances, na ingawa each and every game chances inatupeleka katika position nyingine mbaya sana, na sikuwa very much impressed na game juu finishing line yetu haiko poa.
On the swimming front, 17-year-old Nurayan Baga was among the biggest winners at the NCAA Inter-Clubs Swimming Championships held today at the McKinney Schools after she finished first in the 1500-meter and 100-meter freestyle category. Aimed at selecting a team to represent Kenya at the Ghana Senior and Junior Swimming Championships in October and the 6th Ghana Zone 3 Swimming Championships in November in Ghana and Uganda, respectively.
Finishing fourth in the 200 meters individual medley.
It's been pretty good compared to the last gala. I've been able to make better times compared to last time. I did the 1500 yesterday. It was pretty good. I won, and I've done the 200 IM and the 100 free today. I still have 400 free and 200 free to go.
Her teammate Marvin de Guzman, competing in the 8 years to 9 years category, also won 2 events, that is the 200 meters individual medley and the 50 meters backstroke, finishing second in the 50 meters breaststroke event.
I've been quicker with my times, and in this swimming gala I have done 200 IM and 50 back and 50 breast. I've been quicker from the last gala.
10-year-old Neo Olengo from Seahorses Aquatic Centre emerged victorious in 4 events, finishing first in the 200 meters individual medley, 50 meters backstroke, 50 meters breaststroke, as well as the medley relay in the 10 to 11 years category.
I did the 200 IM, 200 relay, 50 back, and and I am happy that I improved most of my times.
Among other big winners of the day were 13-year-old Jeremy Kombe of SAV Swimming Limited, McCrane Colombo and Nisi Kahinju from Lifetime Swim Club and Otters Swim Club, respectively.
It's definitely different. You get to see a lot of familiar faces, but it's nice to swim again after COVID,
The national shooting team is optimistic of putting up an impressive showing at the forthcoming Africa Shooting Championship set for September the 2nd to the 5th at Kirigiti Shooting Range, Kiambu County. The Team Kenya members Sami Onyango and Priscilla Wangoi expressed their optimism of Kenyan marksmen and women maximizing on the home advantage of the 2-day championship. South Africa guest shooters from United Kingdom, Bosnia have already confirmed participation. Some of the Kenya's best known shooters at the level of masters who will parade at the event include Robert Nyamongo and Sami Onyango, among others. Meanwhile, the marksmen used the one-day ladies training competition held Saturday at Kirigiti Shooting Range to sharpen their skills ahead of the forthcoming Continental Championship. Priscilla Wangoi won the women's title.
Kenya is 100% prepared. The master shooters have also come up very strong. We have got master shooter Ibrahim Dungu, who has come up very strong. We have another master shooter who is called Eric Gumbi, who's also come up very strong. We have another master shooter who's known as Eric Washira, who's also come up very, very strong. We also have a master shooter, Mohamed Omar, who's also come up very strong. You know that the other master shooters like Ashu Senik and Robert Nyamongo have equally been training so strong. So I know that this time round competition is going to be really, really tough. I myself, as a master shooter, I can assure you that I am seeing the competition being totally stiff.
The preparation that we've had and the training that we are yet to receive from the masters and from our trainers, I believe that we are going to conquer. You see, you cannot put your blood and sweat into something and then fail, because we are really committed. We take our time off other duties, other work, and we come to the range and we practice. And I believe that we are going to clinch the top slots in the Africa Championships.
Over in the English Premiership League, Manchester United got their 2020-21 English Premiership League campaign off on a high note, thrashing Leeds United by 5-1 at the Old Trafford. In other matches, Chelsea beat Crystal Palace 3-0, while Watford were 3-1 winners over Aston Villa. Here's a look at more results from today as well as tomorrow's fixtures all over Europe. And that's all we had for you in the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday. Now it's over to Catherine to close the show.
And on to other news of the day. Former Kamukunji lawmaker, the late Wilson Nthenge, has been laid to rest. Nthenge, who has been eulogized as a selfless servant leader, served as a member of parliament for Iveti South, present-day Machakos Town constituency between 1960s and 1980s before becoming the member of parliament for Kamukunji constituency.
The late Wilson Nthenge was a member of LEGCO for the larger Machakos district in 1960. He was one of the authors of Kenya's first constitution and the team that travelled to Lancaster to agitate for Kenya's freedom. He was the last remaining politician of the day after the death of retired President Daniel Moi.
I wish there were more like him in the Kenyan political space.
Meanwhile, Ugunja MP Opiyo Wandayi has accused the Office of the Controller of Budget of abetting corruption in the counties.
Why is it that the county governments cannot remit these sort of reductions, yet they continue to receive monies from the National Treasury, as is expected under the Constitution?
The lawmaker criticized the continuous release of funds even when there was evidence of fiscal mismanagement. Elsewhere, Kisii County Deputy Governor Josh Mangi is encouraging area residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Mangi added that the county government is committed to war on COVID-19.
But still, even after you have gone for vaccination, it's important that you obey the COVID protocols.
In Turkana, a court in Lodo has denied bond to a former police officer accused of raping a female refugee at the Kakuma refugee camp. The suspect, a Kennedy commander, is accused of committing the sexual offence on 6th of June 2019. Finally, Baringo County Governor Stanley Kiptis has decried the high number of persons living with disabilities in the region. Over 5,000 cases are attributed to snake bites.
Sehemu ya Baringo North chini, sehemu ya Baringo South sehemu nyingine, na hata sehemu nyingine hapa Baringo Central ni nyoka.
Yusuf Farah reporting for the Legends edition.
Opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema extended his early lead over incumbent Edgar Lungu in Zambia's presidential election on Saturday. Results announced by the Electoral Commission late Saturday showed that Hichilema was in the lead with over 400,000 votes against Lungu's 266,000 votes.
The first results initially expected on Friday were delayed after counting proceeded overnight because of huge voter turnout. Opposition leader Hichilema is vying for the top seat for the 6th time. By late Saturday, he was leading incumbent President Edgar Lungu by over 200,000 votes. Lungu has been in power since 2015. Hichilema is a businessman who has criticized the president's management of an economy in turmoil. Meanwhile, a major earthquake has struck the Caribbean nation of Haiti. The 7.2 magnitude quake hit the west of the country, with its epicenter about 8 kilometers from the town of Petit-Trou-de-Nips, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Officials told reporters there had been fatalities. Images of damaged and collapsed buildings were shared on social media. Finally, Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani says consultations are underway to end the conflict between the country's forces and the Taliban. This is after the Taliban targeted a province close to the capital, Kabul, with reports of fierce fighting. The Taliban has now taken half of Afghanistan's 34 provincial capitals. The UN fears the situation is spinning out of control, with devastating consequences for civilians. For Legends Edition, I am Yusuf Hilo.
It has been a wonderful evening serving you. My name is Catherine Kasavuli. Of course, our sign language interpreter. Earlier, I had told you it was Byron Abuli, but it is Dear Lucy. So thank you so very much for being with us. And of course, we will do this again next Saturday on the Legends edition. Do have a blessed weekend.
Vera Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725-000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
Number one method, we'll always be talking about industrial engineering method.
This week on Tech on Tech. Today we feature a young, brilliant, innovative mind, the CEO of MDarasa.
MDarasa is an e-learning platform.
We are looking into matters, technology and education.
We bring you tech news from all over the world, outstanding tech features, amazing innovations and inventions. Join us this Sunday and every other Sunday at 4:20 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Proving that to be a leader, you do not need a title or a position. All you need is to influence and have an impact on people.
It's like every stage that I've been in life, I always feel like there's a better tomorrow.
And do you think it's possible to be in politics and have integrity or even be born again? Is it possible?
The moment you, like when I say the moment you're mentioned for a certain position, your close friends become your enemies. And the meeting I went, the women were like, I can say it in Kiswahili. Sasa huyu amevaa hizi nini za miguu. Atakuwaje kiongozi? You know?
In the beginning, there was the Word, and it was all. Then there was the light, and the world was revealed. With his gifts, war, love, power, death, faith. First chapter of the first book of World will be open again. Newly remastered in HD. Genesis.
the flowers, I think we should do pink and amber. No, I think gold and burgundy will look really good.
So, sorry, you said but what?
Burgundy. Duh.
I guess that can work. So, about the venue, I thought that we should just stick to Nairobi since everyone is from here.
Come on, babe. Who does Nairobi anymore? I think I have a brilliant idea. What if we had waiters walking around?
Waiters?
Mm-hmm.
Honey, I thought you wanted a big buffet with
Forget about the buffet. Picture this. We have waiters walking around, serving in every table. And then each table, every 2 tables, there's a chef. You know, like flambe, the fire and stuff.
I guess that can perhaps be arranged.
Awesome.
I was, however, hoping that we could keep this a little bit more,
Oh, sweetie, there you go again, be modest. And I love you for that. But this is big. This is huge. Plus, don't forget we're moving to RUNDA.
Yeah, about that. Tell your father that I'm really grateful. It is such a big out.
I know, right?
So, when did you decide on it? I mean, I thought we said Kileleshwa since it's very close to where I work.
You know my family would not let me live in Eastlands.
Kileleshwa is not Eastlands. Eastlands is, let's say, a place like Buruburu.
Whatever. All I'm saying is, my family wants me to live in a decent place, you know? Like where I grew up. Am I overwhelming you with all this?
No. It's just that I feel like I don't have a say in almost, well, actually everything.
Wow. I'm sorry I didn't know you're going through that. If it's about the house, sweetie, we can move just to please my parents. Then we can move out to whatever you want, even if it's that distance.
Honey, that's not what I'm talking about. I was trying to... You know what? It's fine. As long as you're happy, I'm happy.